Are you a Scorpio?
Yes.
So am I. So you know what I'm talking about.
Johnny Carson could hide almost anything. That was part of the magic.
I kept thinking, well, if Johnny's done it, I can do it.
Yeah.
But once in a while, someone came through that curtain and you could see him change.
Oh, you're not going to start with that already.
Oh, Johnny, I'm so glad to see you.
Thank you.
You'd see it in Johnny first. The act dropped, just for a second. These are the women who got past that famous cool. And the last one did it before she'd said a word. By 1982, Christie Brinkley wasn't just famous. She'd made magazine history. 3 straight Sports Illustrated covers. The first model ever to do it. Johnny had one sitting right on his desk.
Sports Illustrated. And she was with us about a year ago, I think. She's a delightful young lady. Would you welcome Christie Brinkley?
She was used to being looked at, but once she sat down, the picture was only the beginning.
You've got a nice face and a lovely figure, and things are even going better for you now than they were a year ago, right?
Yeah, a lot of things are happening.
Yeah.
Most guests would have said thank you and moved on. Christie had stories, the kind the magazines never printed.
I went running in, standing up straight, and bam, I got this spider web right across my face. And I went, ah! And I was
a
trying
good
to...
normal reaction.
And I saw something in my hair over here, big and black. And I turned to the photographer and said, ah, get it out, get it out. And the photographer went, ew.
She could laugh at herself, and on national television, that's harder than it looks. Then she told Johnny how she'd spent a day off.
You know, skydiving's like one of these things where you think, someday I'll do it, you know, before I die. Then you get there, and they say, well, today, you're either gonna have the best 6 minutes of your life.
It is a thrill.
Or, yeah, they told me you did it.
I did. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I kept thinking, well, if Johnny's done it, I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, but...
She just made the unflappable host sound like the timid one. But the jump itself didn't go to plan.
Tell my boyfriend got out on this little teeny step while the plane is 3,000 feet up, and you have to, like, push yourself out on a little bar.
Strut.
Yes, and I started thinking, why am I going to jump out of this perfectly good airplane? And I saw him doing it, and he let go, and suddenly I heard bam at the end of the plane. And I thought, oh my God, there goes my boyfriend bumping into the end of the plane.
Christie didn't just charm him, she made him look like the adventurous one. The next guest brought out something quieter, and she wasn't a stranger. Johnny had met her years before when nobody knew her name. It's 1980, and Loni Anderson is one of the biggest stars on TV, the breakout star of WKRP in Cincinnati. But Johnny doesn't greet her like a celebrity. He looks at her like he's trying to place her, and then it clicks. The two of them go back further than the audience knows.
We worked together before. In 1976, I was a slave girl and you were a fool.
That sounds about right.
Back then, she was just starting out, a small part in a sketch, years before anyone knew her name. Plenty of hosts wouldn't have remembered. Johnny did. She had a gift for telling a story at her own expense, and the next one took the studio somewhere freezing.
And everybody said, look at you, you just look like you're just wonderful, you're just perfect, your hair didn't move. Well, it was frozen.
The hairspray had frozen?
Well, you know, it had melted on my hair and it was frozen, and I was there for about a half an hour, and all of a sudden, I was just like a drowned rat. All this water came streaming
Defrosted.
down. Yeah, I defrosted.
She could make herself the punchline, and the laugh only got warmer. But the next thing she talked about, she didn't joke about it at all. That spring, Loni was about to play Jane Mansfield, a woman the public thought it understood. The film hadn't aired yet, and her co-star was still mostly known as a bodybuilder, Arnold Schwarzenegger, 2 years before Conan made him a star.
And she wasn't at all.
No.
She was quite bright, and she knew exactly the role she was playing, and she played it beautifully.
You can see both sides. Now
Yeah.
we're going to see Jane the woman and Jane the person she put on to the public.
Yeah.
And then you do find out that it was just all a facade.
Loni didn't dazzle him. She reminded him there was a real person behind the image. The next guest didn't turn his head with looks either. She beat him to the punchline. By the autumn of 1990, Catherine O'Hara was everywhere. She just played the mother in Home Alone, the movie about to become the biggest comedy of the year. But the Catherine who sat down with Johnny had nothing to do with the worried mom from the movie. Watch what Johnny does here. He stops trying to steer the conversation and just lets her run.
When I was a kid, I started like when I was 11 or 12, started doing them.
Mimicking
But I would impersonate, impersonators.
Right.
So, and they were mostly men, so all I did was men.
Well, that's
When I was
funny.
like 11 or 12, James Mason.
James Mason?
This is James Mason.
He didn't even try to keep up. He just sat back and enjoyed it, like the rest of us. Then came the holiday story, a quiet beach that turned into a small disaster, on a beach whose name should have been the warning.
The most obscure beaches, we finally got to this one with nobody on it except some donkeys who kept cornering us up against the car. Get the donkeys away from me! And the beach was called Shipwreck, so we should have known.
Catherine didn't beat Johnny with glamour. She beat him with timing. So quick that for once, he looked like the audience. If you enjoy these old Carson moments, subscribe. There's a new one every week. Speed was one way past him. Warmth was another. The next guest was an old friend, and Johnny lit up the second she stepped through that curtain. By 1980, Dyan Cannon wasn't just a glamorous star anymore. She had an Oscar nomination for Heaven Can Wait and had started making films herself. So when she came back to Johnny's couch, she wasn't arriving as a stranger. She was returning as an old friend.
Come on, contain yourself. This is a lady. This is no floozy that walked off the street here. Oh, you're not going to start with that already.
Oh, Johnny, I'm so glad to see you.
Thank you. I haven't seen you for a long time.
With Dyan, he wasn't hosting at all. He was just glad an old friend was back. She had a new film coming with a co-star the whole country adored. The only one who'd needed convincing about him was her.
I'm such a fan of his, not only of you, but his. He's great talent, isn't he?
Yeah, I had never heard of him, Johnny.
Willie Nelson?
I had never heard of him.
She wasn't about to pretend she knew something she didn't, so she went and found out for herself, and then she made him an offer.
So I said, well, if I put on my boots and sing country western, will you take off your boots and act with me? And he
Right.
did, and we did, and I hope the music we made was pretty.
By now, Johnny had been surprised, charmed, and outpaced, but the next guest did something none of the others had. She didn't just get past his guard, she made him forget he was running a show at all. Most of America first met Goldie Hawn as the giggling girl on Laugh-In, bright, bubbly, and easy to underestimate. What they didn't always remember was that this giggly girl had already won an Academy Award. By 1975, she was a genuine movie star, but the moment she bounced onto Johnny's stage, she still played it like the rules didn't quite apply to her. And within seconds, a man who was never short of a comeback had nothing ready. He was just trying to keep up with her.
She says, hey, baby, come on in. She says, we are going to get it on tonight. I said, hey, I came here to dance. I'm here to dance. I make $25 a night. And where do I change?
He usually had a comeback for anything. With Goldie, he just laughed and stopped trying to land one. Then he asked her the same question he'd asked 100 guests before. He should have known better than to expect a normal answer.
Are you contemplating marriage again? I don't mean this to sound like a fan magazine interview.
No.
People always ask questions like this.
Yeah, no, I'm not contemplating marriage. I don't understand it.
Well, none of us do.
We don't even know why salmon go upstream, but there they are. You get married because it's there.
Right.
Like mountain climbers say.
Yeah.
For once, Johnny wasn't running the show. He was just happy to be along for it. And then it went somewhere no interview was ever meant to go. He asked her one simple question and got back an answer that made perfect sense only to Goldie, which is exactly why it worked.
So you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, we have a...
Could you explain that to us?
What?
Could you explain that to us?
Aluminum siding plays a great part in our dreams.
Aluminum siding?
Aluminum siding plays a great part. We do strange things with aluminum siding.
Goldie didn't follow the interview. She made Johnny give it up completely, and he looked happier for it than he had all night. And by the end, he came right out and said it, which, for a man who kept almost everything to himself, was about as open as Johnny ever got.
Would you come back again with us some night?
Yes, sir.
Anytime you want, really, because you're a delight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Every woman so far had earned that reaction over a whole conversation. And then came the one we promised at the start, the woman who got it before the conversation even began. Everyone else in this story arrived with a reputation. Robyn Hilton arrived with none. No hit show, no Oscar, no magazine cover. A farm girl from Idaho, unknown to everyone watching, and to Johnny, who'd never met her. But before she'd even walked out, he told the room this one was different.
This is a lady for sure.
And I want you to treat her with dignity. And would you welcome Robyn Hilton?
And then she walked out, and Johnny's face gave the whole thing away before she'd answered a single question. Nobody in that studio knew it yet, but the unknown girl from Idaho was 3 weeks away from a movie people would never stop quoting.
I decided when I was 3 years old to become an actress.
Really?
I decided I'd be a star.
By her own account, the night made her nervous, but it never touched the one thing she was sure of. She'd known what she wanted since she was 3, and she said it without blinking. Nothing else about her quite added up. The poise didn't match the story she told about where she came from.
My folks?
Your parents?
Yes, my parents. My father's an experimental engineer. He was a farmer.
Yeah. Did you ever live on a farm?
Oh, yes, I was raised on a farm.
Really?
Oh, yes.
When you tell people that, they got to say, oh, come on, right? Because you don't
No,
look like
I
the
was.
typical farm girl.
No, I did. Yes, I was raised on a farm.
She barely pushed. That was the strange part. Everyone leaned in anyway. And then she told Johnny how she landed that Mel Brooks part. And it wasn't some long fight to get in the room. At least, the way she told it. She walked in, and Mel made up his mind almost on the spot.
He didn't hear you read any lines, or?
I read 2 lines.
2 lines?
Yes.
Cool. What word? I don't know whether I want to ask you what those lines were. Like, where's wardrobe and how are you, Mel? Just made his decision like that.
Right, it was very fast. Before I knew it, I was up in wardrobe.
Before you knew it, you were up in wardrobe.
Right.
That's what made those old interviews feel different. The best moments seemed to happen in the space between the question and the answer. Just a few honest seconds from a man who almost never let them show.